You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I am Rodney Rogers. That right there is the man in trouble himself.
One cough.
One cough. Just one, Rodney, and you're out of
But
here.
it wasn't technically on the air, so you're still good.
Okay, good. That's it. I wanted to squeeze one in before the show. Mike, the man himself, Mike Coy, how are you, brother?
It's good to see you.
Welcome to hanging out with us. This is our 1 hour vacation. We are so glad you guys are here. You can reach us a couple different ways tonight. Let's get that out of the way. You can call us live at 262-345-7763 if you have any questions, any cool updates for us, or something you saw that was cool, or, man, or you're like me, you just became a grandpa. That's pretty cool. You can hashtag us on the Twitter, not any Twitter, the Twitter, at hashtag RROR. Can they still do that?
You can.
Awesome. And our lights may even flash. Will our lights flash?
I don't know.
We'll see. Hashtag us. Hashtag RROR. Or you can actually text us if you are like a little shy and you want to just bypass the Twitter. You don't have Twitter. Just text us from your phone right there in front of your face. 262-345-7763. It's the same number right down here at the bottom. I'll get that on my side. Mike will get it on his side. We'll both see it at the same time. If it's a dumb question, we'll laugh at each other. We'll look and we'll laugh, and then we'll
Give the nod.
No such thing as a dumb question, especially with the outdoors, because just when you think you know something, it's usually an old wives' tale.
The truth. Wow.
It is. A lot of those out there.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a show one night just on the wives' tales.
That'd actually be fun.
Yeah. And a few husbands' tales, too.
The banana thing on the boat.
Yes.
You can start with that one.
Absolutely.
Start and end with the banana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave that one way alone.
I think I'm going to be a meteorologist.
A meteorologist? Meteorologist.
I should probably say it before I become one.
Yes. You should learn to pronounce that. I don't even know if I said it right. A meteorologist?
You did. That time you did.
Did I? Did I study
Meteorologist. Isn't that it's interesting?
Yeah, wouldn't that be like a weatherologist, I would think.
Yeah, because meteor is just part of it, I would suppose, and that's like way out there.
Yeah, they'll
That's
never
probably
see.
not your first year.
Most meteorologists have never actually seen a meteor.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, maybe I could be wrong.
I'm fascinated with the weather.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am.
Especially with the way as windy it is. I mean, it's been windy as, man.
It's just, especially in Florida because we have the strong storms in the summer.
Yeah.
Being a peninsula, we get some interesting weather patterns.
A lot of that tropical
areas don't.
stuff smacks us in the face.
Yeah.
We're affected a lot by the Niños, the L's and the La's. And
Yeah. So I'm
Niños.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about being a meteorologist.
So you're
I'm
make
also
me laugh.
bringing sexy back, but that's a whole other story.
Let's
move on.
Let's keep it the
More
sexy
about
among
you.
ourselves.
More about you, Rodney.
Well, as you can tell, I have a cold tonight. I'm coming to the end of it. I had a bug over the weekend.
You sounded bad.
I still fished. I still did my thing. We were going to go offshore fishing, and that got canceled. The winds again. We got nice, beautiful weather, but it's the wind that keeps you offshore. Out of the back inshore. So it's man, I'm gnawing at the bit to get back offshore. I've had to reschedule a few trips. We had a lot of cancellations because they couldn't reschedule. So we got 2 more trips coming up, the 29th and the 30th. Both trips are full.
Okay.
Or no, I've got 2 spots open on the 29th. So if you're up for that, check us out, hit us up. And then the 30th, before I start booking the May, I kind of want to look at the May before I start yelling out May trip.
So you've got 2 more solid ones booked?
I got 2 more solid ones booked. And then I've got enough for one after that. I just got to set a May date. So I've got technically 3 booked full. But
how's it working for those who don't know? A lot of times we jump into a topic and realize we could actually have first time people just joining us for the first time.
Right, exactly.
So
okay, so yeah,
from the top.
I guess yeah.
We're just
guilty. Assuming that everybody's
this is one
here
big
with
happy
us.
family, yeah. But we might have some new family members.
For those of you that don't know, we do offshore with fired up charters. So basically what we did is I wanted to get offshore a little more often than I do. So I have buddies that have, I know they're watching right now, that have copped out on me. I'm gonna call them out. They're just done. I mean, they're they're just not as dedicated fishermen as I am. So isn't it funny? The guy who don't have the boat is always the dedicated. The guy with the boat is just like, okay, whatever. I'm jerking their chains. I'm trying to fire them up to get offshore. But anyway, I wanted to go offshore. So I made a deal with Fired Up Charters. I said, dude, I'll book it on my website. Just, man, let us just give us some space in advance. So basically, the benefit I get is I get to hold a spot without putting a deposit down. That's the benefit we get. I pay the same thing as everybody else.
Yeah.
And what we get to do is we get to hold the spot for a little bit longer than anybody else normally would because we book 3 or 4 trips a month. As we talked about it, I wanted to do 1 trip a month, but it's turned into 3 or 4 a month because basically if you book this trip, it's $900 for yourself. We charge $200 per person. And, is that me? Sorry, brother.
Game on.
That's me. And then, we charge, and then the residual goes to tips. So when you pay your $200 for your spot, I'll book the spot. I'll send you a date, and that is tip and everything. You walk on, you fish, you walk off, grab your fish, and go.
Pay up. Pay up.
I'm gonna need a lot of coffee.
So, and the more I see this play out, Rodney,
yes,
the more I think how brilliant it is.
It is turned out
because deep sea fishing is one of those. It's I don't want to say a pipe dream. It's one of those things on your checklist, your bucket list things.
Absolutely.
And it's hard that the entry price can be steep.
Yes.
If it's just you.
Or just 2 or 3.
Yeah, or just 2 or 3 because that's something you plan for a year to do because you got to charter the boat and you got to get the right people together and it's a family or something, whatever it is.
Right.
But you've made it easy that a guy go, what, $200? Yeah, I'm going to spend that anyways this weekend.
Absolutely.
Here, let's go fishing. And it's not on one of these party boats where it's you and 150 people shoulder to shoulder on the rails. This is a captain and 6 guys.
Right.
One of those guys being Rodney Rogers going outside, in
and
a very
a
intimate,
that's
friendly,
exactly right.
comfortable environment. And so the entry fee to this is very achievable.
Well, I'll tell you, when I fish on my buddies' boats, basically what we do is we troll all day, we split the gas, we divide it up to however many people we got. We normally got 4 or 5 people. So if we got 5 people, we normally pay about $40, $50 a piece. Now, that doesn't sound like much. Uh-oh. Ready?
Get it. Cut it off.
As I talk, it dries out.
Yeah.
Don't sound like much, but then I buy bait. The bait alone is $80. By the time I'm buying ballyhoo and sardines to cut over, if we're going to bottom fish, you buy live bait and you try to catch live bait. So now I'm $140, $130 into this. And then I buy ice. I buy 80 pounds of ice. Now suddenly you're $170 into this. Then you buy your sandwiches and that's, and then poof, you're $200 and you're fishing on your buddy's boat.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning this is the real deal. You're going to with a legit charter company. Yeah. And with that comes some unexpected and the roll of the dice. I mean, weather, all the things play into it. This is not a Disneyland ride.
No.
So you're going to get days where the seas are too rough and you can't go out. You're going to get days that the fish may not bite as much as they were.
Right.
So all these things.
It's fishing.
It's real life fishing, offshore fishing.
And you're going to get days when your buddy gets up there and he gets seasick and you're back there fishing off the boat. We don't turn around for that.
Man, I my intention was not to every time. No. Every time spend a lot of time on this, but again, this is a great thing that's going on here, and you have the opportunity to be a part of it. But just go to the website, go on the store, and if you click on that, you'll see the Fired Up Charter logo. You can click on that. How is it working? Because basically, what you're doing is people are paying their $200,
right?
And then you are kind of one-on-one coordinating with them. The dates.
Basically, once they pay the $200, I won't negotiate when you're going until you pay the money. Fact is what happens and what happens with the charter companies, and I won't be afraid to tell you, hey, yeah, man, I got 5 people that want to go. Awesome. The 29th, I'm in. Okay. Well, they don't pay. They don't put a deposit. Half their buddies cancel out. One guy can't afford the whole trip. Here's the deal. If you back out the day before, that trip's leaving. That cost is on me. You know what I mean? So when you pay your money, and I tell you the 29th, you're on that boat. If you're not on that boat.
Yeah. And we probably have some offline things to chat about, because I got some interesting prospects that I want to run by you and see if I can get your blessing to massage them. But there's a lot of behind the scenes things where you're coordinating with the charter company.
Absolutely.
You're that middle person making,
yeah.
And there's a lot going on there. So I've got every move I make has to be totally in sync.
Yes.
With what you're doing.
Yes.
But just, thinking about potentially putting a calendar on there so people could actually pick a date, or, that's a whole nother ball of wax. But I think we've got the potential to do that.
Absolutely. You're going to see me sipping this coffee a lot.
Either way, we'll get a refill if you need it. But either way, go on there and check it out.
Yeah, check it out. It's $200. So we just got a text in, and it was Todd saying, hey, man, I got to get offshore. Todd, you will love it. I'm telling you. Let's see. Oh, Randy has a makeup date. Randy, your makeup date is the 29th. I have not told you. But your makeup day is the 29th. You're on the 29th boat. Yeah,
the one thing I want to also do on the website is basically, because, again, cancellations, things happen. We want to spell that out so people know what to expect. And I'd also like to spell out what to expect, motion sickness, advice, tips, what to bring, what not to bring.
Exactly.
A detailed list. So right now it's just basically a quick down and dirty
here's
exchange.
What's going on.
But but we're going to formulate that and make it a little, again, we just got to throw this out there to see, and this thing is blooming rapidly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's getting out of hand quick. So
did you see the instructional gun video at the beginning of the show?
I did, Mike, and I appreciate you showing our audience that
you're human.
Accidents can happen.
Yeah.
To anybody.
Yeah.
And no matter your stature.
And quite honestly, I'm digging through the archives a little bit,
right.
and the reason I actually picked that up, that pre-roll is a good time to shove some of those videos out there.
Absolutely.
But to tell people to subscribe to us on YouTube, get on there and dig around. That's on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's on the YouTube
you got,
channel.
You got to dig in there, but there's a ton of good stuff on there.
Yeah.
More to come, but even going back into the archives, there's some good stuff on there that kind of get sunk to the bottom. But
I did a big thing. Did you see on the video that I changed it from blooper to fail?
Oh, yes.
I changed it to fail because it was flat out fail.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? I watched it. As a matter of fact, it wasn't not 2 days ago, so it's funny you and I are looking at it. Because,
good point. Blooper is not the exact.
I'm looking at it and I'm going, this was a fail. This was a major fail on my part. Well, not a major because I didn't shoot anybody and I missed the boat by that far.
Well, we're human.
And we were in the Everglades.
Things happen, and that's why, exactly your point, things you put in place so that when human prevails.
Error comes in, humans prevail. Yeah, you pow. So that was that. But I did want to say this weekend I got to take Kevin fishing. His wife basically kind of hired me to take him out for our anniversary. Kevin has bought our grubs.
Wait a minute.
What?
She hired you to take him out for their anniversary? Wow.
Yeah.
She went to the spa?
Well,
she's like, this is the life.
She's like, take Kevin fishing. I'm going to the spa.
Happy anniversary,
Well,
me.
Here's the deal. Kevin had, flat out told me, Rodney, I'm new to bass fishing. Man, we had a great day. He says, I'm new to bass fishing. And he says, I kind of, I bought your grubs, and I've caught 5 bass, and they were all off your grubs. So, I need to learn new techniques. I need to learn some things here, there. What am I doing? So, man, we started from the thing. We pulled out. I said, great, what kind of pole do you got? What kind of line you got? So we went through the spiel before we ever got in the boat. And we met at 7 a.m. We met at Lake Kane.
Yep.
And and I said, well, here's what I use, and here's why. And here's what you have, and here's pretty much why it's going to be tough to make work. So sometimes lessons learned are the hard way.
So you started with hardware.
So we started with hardware. Well, your rod, your reel. He had a fantastic reel. His line was a little shaky. It was great for like long cast, saltwater, kind of light tackle, light fishing. What's good about his line, it was braided line, but a very thin, smooth braided line, which breaks kind of easy if you go just, we put him a frog on. I said, well, today I bought him some lures. I said, I bought you what we're going to fish with and be successful with today. So we put him a frog on. Man, we're 10 minutes into this. I caught a couple fish, and then he walloped a giant. I mean, he piled up a big fish, and it broke his line. So he learned right away, man, I need better line. So, we put one of my reels. Actually, I gave him one of my poles. I brought some extra poles with the good stuff on it. But the pole was a 7-foot, where he has a 5'6" pole. So it's a big difference.
Sure,
So he's not used to that long cast. So took him a little getting used to, and he couldn't quite get the hang of it. He knew he would like it. He knew he had to buy a new pole. So we kind of switched reels onto his pole. Now, he landed 3 good bass. He missed probably 10 or 15 because the pole was so flimsy, and you've got to set these hooks, man. I mean, basically it was just a day of teaching him, you got to set this hook. Well, if that frog, if you miss it and that frog ain't flying at you, you ain't fishing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You want that thing going by you at 100 miles an hour. And when I set the hook, and man, he didn't know who was going to get hooked, me or him, but you got to set that hook. That is the key. And that's why, and I explained to him, that's why you use that, that medium heavy 7-foot, man. You bury that hook in those fish. So by the time we got around that lake, he was right. He is a fast learner. He was calling his shots like Babe Ruth, Mike.
Really?
This is no lie. He'd go, right there, Rodney. I'm gonna get in that pocket. There's one right there. And he'd throw that frog in that pocket. It would land perfectly in that pocket. And as soon as that thing hit, man, bloosh, he got it. I mean, he got it.
Wow.
He understood why, I was making the cast that I was making and, and having the success. Because I'd look at him and I'd go, Kevin, right there's that spot. And I could see the confusion. He was like, really? Up there? There's a lot of vegetation. There's some stumps. I mean, why do I want to be up there? And I'd cast up there and I'd pull a fish out every single time. So, and then he caught on. And then I had to explain. Sometimes it's just a simple explanation that these things are, it's sheer logic. These are predators. They hang around this stuff waiting for prey.
There is a thought process to it.
Yeah. So it made sense. Kevin, you did an awesome job, my man. I can't wait to fish with him again. I'm just going to drag him out. I'm going to call him. We're going to drag out.
Cool.
And we're both, anytime you make a new fishing buddy, man, you definitely, hands down, that's a winner in any book.
Yeah.
So
that's what it's all about.
And happy anniversary to you guys.
Fun.
So they did absolutely awesome. And he thanked me and said, I learned so much. And, just the 6 short hours we fished. We boated 10 fish.
Okay.
Between the two. I tried not to fish a lot because I wanted him to, hit those pockets that I was hitting. Sure. And he picked up really quick. And we missed a lot of fish. I mean, it was just, when you're in that heavy vegetation, that fish comes barreling out. They miss it a lot.
What time did you call it quits?
We called it quits about noon.
Okay.
Just before 1 o'clock. So
it was a gorgeous weekend, but it was hot in the sun. When the sun came up,
it was definitely hot.
It was still
It was definitely hot. So, that allowed me time to play with my new boat.
Yeah.
So
did you keep any? Did he keep any?
No, we didn't keep any fish. No, we was catch and release.
Do you ever keep bass?
Rarely. Bass is phenomenal eating.
Yeah.
But I rarely keep it, Sometimes when the family wants to do a big fish fry, we'll go out and catch our limits. I'll take 3 or 4 guys, and we'll all catch 5 fish apiece, and we'll bring home 20 bass.
But it is the rarity for you to take home a bass anymore.
Yes, it is an absolute rarity. Yeah. I could eat bass every single day. if I wanted to. Yeah. But it's a rarity. To me, it's just taboo.
Sure. Well,
unless we have a fish fry.
Yeah.
Like I said. And we're going to have a fish fry because we're going snakehead fishing this weekend. So we're going to be having some big fish fry. You know what I'm saying? So... But that was a weekend, man. I had a phenomenal weekend. Good. Even though I was sick, I wasn't 100%. And you could bet if I wasn't on the water, I was in the bed trying to heal.
Yeah.
I was just trying to heal, man. I was just trying to get over this.
Blessing in disguise. I'm glad that the
Amen.
fishing offshore thing kind of fell through because that would have been...
Oh, man. That would have been a rough day. It really would. But I'd have done it. You know me, Mike. I'd have done it.
Let me catch up on some Twitter feed. The Twitter feed is very active tonight.
Ooh, come on, Twitter tweet.
This just in. I'm going to work my way backwards. Dude, you know Hollow Point Hector.
Yes.
So I remember them days. You used to take me fishing. And now I'm stomping your butt.
Oh, whatever, dude.
I added
oh,
that
you
part,
added that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dawn has Riley waiting to watch a picture. See, next week is my goal. Next week is I will be able to throw this up on
right.
the live feed.
Oh, so you can put.
Yeah.
Oh,
got
okay.
Got it in place, but she's got a picture of Riley holding her little iPad little thing there, getting ready to
with
watch
our show.
Getting ready to watch Uncle Rodney.
Oh, right on, man. Hi, Riley.
And then Todd Anderson says, "What's the best bait for peacock bass? I need to know what to buy."
Todd, you know what? I'm going to give a little shout out to Austin. Austin watches our show religiously. Little Austin as well. And Jason. I'm trying to figure. This is going to go on, Mike. And little Jason watches our show. So anyway, get that Yozuri, Todd. Get the Yozuri that I've been fishing with. That's what you want for peacock. Trust me when I say that Yozuri is a hot item when it comes to peacocks. I'll send you a picture of it. I'll post it for this weekend. And get 2 or 3 of them because these peacocks are aggressive. You can get them at Bass Pro and you can get them at Academy Sports. That Yozuri. There's a couple different
is that
kinds.
with a Y?
Y-O-Z-U-R-I.
Okay.
And it's a suspending twitch bait, and it goes underwater and just sits there, and it's real flashy. It's the 3D, and you'll see what I'm saying. I'm going to post it up on the website so you have a shot of it. So,
twitch bait, jerk bait, same thing?
Same thing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, jerk bait is just you jerk it and you reel it and it swims.
And suspending means it'll kind of stay buoyant. It doesn't go up
wherever
or go
it
down.
stops, it stops. And then a twitch bait is just as you twitch it, it just goes. It just kind of moves. It says random pattern. It's just very random.
Okay.
So
it's all how you play it.
Yeah.
How you play the fiddle.
How you play the fiddles, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. How you beat the drum.
You're going to teach them the chord, but they need to practice.
Exactly.
Right?
Fishing musician.
Fishing musician.
You know what I'm saying?
I like it. Hey, let me show you something.
I dare you.
Actually, I don't want to show you something. I want you to show us something.
Okay.
Because you posted something on YouTube this weekend.
I did.
While you're out
while
you're out in the boot.
I did. I got the boat fired up. We put the 5-horse on it. And check this out. You want to know how fast it'll go? 12-foot John boat with a 5 horsepower?
Yeah, what spurred this?
I was on the boat, and I was just testing it, and I was like, you know what? I've got my speedometer, my GPS speedometer on there. Let's give it a shot. Let's just make a video for everybody that's curious. I know there's a ton of – I was curious when I got it. I was like, somebody out there has had to do it. Okay, so the question is, how fast will a 12-foot John boat go with a 5-horse Mercury? So let's look at this. Ready? Right now we're at 4.4.
This was cool.
Dude, I'm going to tell you what. It get a little squirrely on you. You ain't watching what you're doing. You notice I had that lanyard strapped around my neck.
You're playing cameraman, driving the boat, and demonstrating Lowrance at the same time.
Waiting to happen. And we're about to hit the 18, I believe, or we may have already hit the
17.6, 17.5.
Did we already pass the 18? Pow, 18.
There you go, right there. Nailed
18 miles an hour, and I started slowing down. And you can see in my GPS where I've been looping it a few other times. You see that loop right there?
Looks like you're doing a holding pattern.
Battery, paddle, life preserver, gas can full of gas. And I'm 200 pounds. So a 12-foot, 42-inch John boat with the 60-pound 5-horse Mercury, brand new, depth finder, trolling motor, battery. I do not have the trolling motor on here. Runs, the maximum speed I got of it was 18 miles per hour. So, if you were questioning it, now you know. Now you know, Mike. Now you know.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was
fun.
Yeah, I've been wanting to know. So with 2 people, I got it up to 15.5.
Okay.
Weight distribution in those things mean a lot.
It does make a difference, right?
It makes all the difference in the world.
So you ditched the trolling motor specifically for this test,
No,
or you just didn't have it with you?
I took the trolling motor off, and I was about to load the boat up, and I went, you know what? Man, what am I doing? I haven't even test driven this thing by myself yet. So I put everything back in, and it's distributed. I kind of pushed the trolling motor forward with the gas tank forward. Normally, I've got them right in the back. And what I was finding is with it in the back, the boat was just basically going, whoa, it was just pushing. So I had to get the front, without trend tabs and all that.
Now, based on your speed, there is a prime sweet spot there, right?
There's a planing point, yes, where you plane out.
That's what your trim tabs do, right?
That's exactly what they do. But without trend tabs, you got to have weight distribution. Okay. That's more important than anything. So I had the only trim I got is I could move the pin on the back and tilt the motor, in different positions.
Sure.
So I had actually played with, before I did that test, I had actually played with what would be the best trim position with 2 people and what would be the best trim position with 1 person. So this was about an hour of just trying to play, run.
Those are good times, though.
And let me tell you this.
Those are good times, though.
I'm running on the same 3.5 gallons that when I bought that motor and went to Mosquito Lagoon and ran 12 miles, Mike. Yes. So I've been on that lake twice, ran the motor both times, played with it. I still got a half a tank in that thing.
That's great.
I can run forever.
That's great.
I could go to the Bahamas. Probably won't.
Careful with the forever thing.
I could.
You might lighten back off on that.
I might want to back off the forever. Yeah.
So how is Cane Lake?
Bro, it is phenomenal. I've yet to see anybody fish it while I was fishing. I'm sure people do, but they're probably burnt out. It's a private lake.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just pull up and throw your boat in and go.
We're gonna hear that term Cane Lake quite a bit, aren't we?
We're potentially going to hear that thing a lot. I got a good feeling we are. I mean, it's a great lake. It's been there for 100 years. There's a lot of big fish in there. The first day Nick and I went out on Saturday, instead of offshore fishing, Nick and I took over and went fishing. We were catching 6-pounders, 5-pounders. I mean, we caught 20 bass that day, and we missed equally as many. So we had a phenomenal day. It was exciting. We got some good footage of it. We got some. Man, I've just got so much footage of fish, Mike. I need a full-time person to sit in my office and just download footage and put it all together.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
It's just crazy. I've my GoPro, every disc I got from my GoPro is full. So, and I've got to clean that out for this weekend. So I've got to go buy one of them terabyte deals and load all this video in there.
You get it.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
You get it.
I mean, and then I got to organize this video. I don't know how you do it.
Well, you do know how. I sit on it and sit on it and sit on it and sit on it.
But the same thing I do. Yeah, we're together. Give me some of that. We're the sitter brothers.
It's tough.
Yeah.
That's why somebody just pay us $50,000 a year and let us quit our jobs.
Let us quit our jobs and do this. Yeah, absolute 50. And can we? We're gonna ask, man.
Oh yeah.
Can we go 100? A little honey hun.
I'm willing to do ramen noodles to do this for a living.
I got you. Okay, all right. I'm with you.
Yeah. I meant for starter.
For starter.
Just for me to put in my notice.
I got you.
Yeah. Rodney, let's talk some top news.
I dare you.
Want to talk some top news?
I dare you.
Not a lot, but let's talk top news. Here's one for you. Eagle, speaking of lakes, Eagle and Land Lakes to close temporarily April 14th. Officials have requested that both FMAs, future farmers,
Fishing management areas,
yes, be closed because of low water levels. This can cause navigational difficulties and disturbances to the vegetation in shallow areas when the lakes are fished.
Can I elaborate on this?
And go.
And I've been getting a lot of pictures and a lot of questions and a lot of this. Rodney, I'm seeing lumps on these bass. What are these lumps? Those lumps you're seeing are what's called lake lice. They're actually parasites. They're just little worms that are in the slime of the fish. Anytime we get low water levels, these fish are pushed lower into the water table, and they get these parasites on them. The lower the water gets, the worse off it is, and these parasites become more and more. And pretty soon, we keep having this low water, we're going to start seeing big bass float up. Now, if you have a great lake that's just pounded, these ponds you're just going to see dead fish in them. It's just coming. We're literally a week away from starting to see dead fish. I mean, a lot of them are deep, but there's some shallow ones. As this water heats up, the oxygen just depletes, and then we're done. So, my advice is...
Is it worse this year?
It is worse this year.
Yeah.
I got a feeling... Remember, my gosh, I want to say about 20 years ago, we had a really huge drought, and it dried up rivers that I had seen water in for years. It dried up rivers that my kids and I walked to lakes. We walked in between lakes that used to be just huge freaking rivers. Bone dry. And I mean bone dry, you could dig down and not even find moist water. So I got a feeling that's where we're headed. I'm not a meteorologist. I'm not none of that, but I'm not
either, but I will be.
I've seen it.
Watch me.
There's fires. The fires are coming, Mike. The fires are coming.
The fires.
So, yeah, I just wanted to elaborate on that.
No,
That's a question that I'm getting, and this would tie right into that.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of the FWC's updates have to do with hydrilla.
Yes.
Treatments in different lakes. And I think we minimize the effect that vegetation has on these lakes and the health of the lakes, and they spend a lot of their times nurturing and getting rid of the bad stuff and helping out the good stuff because that vegetation is part of what keeps the lakes
So they have
healthy.
to keep on top of that. Lake Jackson out in Three Lakes, huge speck lake, bass lake. I mean, it's a world famous lake, and it got so low that all the alligators were congregated. I mean, I'd put in at the boat ramp and have to walk my canoe out 100 yards before I ever reached water. And then I'd have to walk it through mud.
Yeah.
And then once I realized that there was 300 alligators around me at any given time, I gave up.
Yeah.
I left. So what happens is you'll start seeing more birds come in. They'll start eating the bait fish and the big fish and the pelicans and the cormorants. It's a frenzy.
Sure.
When you start seeing birds pile up, you're going to start seeing it. I mean, as they start floating up, belly up, then birds will come in. And
even behind my parents' house, they have that retention pond lake.
It's got to be low.
It's low, and the vultures are swarming.
Yep.
And
once you see the vultures, you know the fish have already started dying.
Yeah.
So, and then turtles are usually the last to go. So, I mean, turtles will try to move on, but when it's fenced in all the way around, they're done. They can't.
Yeah, good point.
So they'll just dry up, So, we got to do what we can. We really do. This is going to be a tough time. The next couple of weeks, because this water is dropping 4 inches a day.
That's crazy.
I mean, it is literally. I'm fishing lakes that I never thought I'd see, and they're down literally 5 feet, which you've got 30 feet of bank.
Yeah, we need some rain.
So we need some rain pretty bad. Yeah. So pray, do your rain dance.
Do the rain dance.
Let's do some praying. We need 7-8 days of just solid rain.
We do actually.
Yeah, fishing will get crappy, but I'm okay with that.
All right. In the meantime, we've got some good mail tonight, Rodney.
You've got mail.
Letters. We get letters. We get
Stop. Whoa, yes. Wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Send me an email with all the details.
Another freaking email. Another freaking email song.
Mail time.
Mail time. Mail time. Mail time. The mail's here.
Yeah, on a top flight, hold you tight, get you there by daylight, do you right overnight mail.
That's what I'm talking, Mike.
I love it. Hey, Jimmy K, Pine Bluff, Arkansas says, I know what a live well is, but when do you use one? And are there pros and cons?
Oh, actually, yeah. You know what? A lot of people don't think about the pros and cons of a live well. And let me give it to you right now. I know what a live well is, but when do you use one? Most time you use it for your live bait. That's a good time, if you're a live bait fisherman.
So, and even for me, a live well is where you keep the bait, not the fish after you catch them.
Well, that comes into play too. A live well also keeps fish live. If you're a tournament fisherman, you're going to catch your fish. You have to bring them in live. So you have to have 5 live fish. Now, the pros, it keeps your fish alive. My gosh, you want them to be alive. The cons is if you don't watch it, all your fish will die. You got 5 fish or a bunch of bait fish in a live well. If you don't aerate it, they'll run themselves right out of oxygen. There's no way for it to get them in there. And a lot of times in the summertime, you're aerating it with hot water right off the surface. Remember, you're catching these fish that are 20 feet down, 15 feet down in that cooler water. But as you put them in the live well, you're running the water off the surface in there at 95 degrees.
Sure.
So they're depleting their oxygen 10 times faster than they normally would, at a cooler temperature. So you have to aerate 3 times as much.
Wow.
So a couple things you need to check for. Make sure you have an aerator on your live well or a recirculator. The recirculator pumps it from the bottom to the top and just keeps it in a circular motion and aerates.
Does it aerate or just maintain the temperature?
It aerates.
It does it, okay.
And cools it, actually. Okay. It cools it. If you keep pumping in fresh water from the lake, you have to do it 5 times as much. Oh, wow. So, if you're on a offshore boat like we often are, you'll see that they keep it on, that overflows.
Okay.
It's just constantly overflowing. They get fresh water in there the whole time. It never stops. So that's the pros and cons. Cons is it'll kill your fish as much as it will keep them alive. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Good question, Jimmy.
Great question.
Jeff M. from Lakeland said, how much should I... We are in the thick of turkey season right now, right?
We are. This is absolutely in the...
Okay.
We're in it.
How much should I call to a gobbler on the roost?
Man, I had that situation.
Explain that question for me.
And here's... Once a gobbler's on the roost when you're there first thing in the morning before the sun comes up. Now, the gobbler decides when he wants to come down. So, basically, here's what you need to do. Here's your standard operating procedure. You want to do a hoot owl once you find out, and that'll bring a shot call to the gobbler. He'll just go.
These terms just make me hoot owl and gobbler and give it a hoot owl on the roost.
Only on an outdoor show.
Gobbler on the roost. What's on the roost? What's the roost?
That's a movie. Gobbler on the Roost. Ooh, don't make me laugh.
I've totally derailed you. So start from the top. Answer the question.
A roost is at nighttime in the evenings, right before sunset. All the turkeys will fly up in the trees.
Okay.
They're roosting. That's their roost. They will not sit on the ground because they are vulnerable. And one of the coolest things I ever seen was I was fishing in the morning, and there's a gobbler on the roost and a bobcat hot on his trail.
Really?
The bobcat was meowing louder than the gobbler was gobbling. The meow of the bobcat was making the gobbler gobble because, the gobblers just want to be the loudest thing in the woods. They want the hens to know, I'm here. This cat would go, and he'd go, the gobbler had no idea the cat was up there to get him. But the cat got so high as the sun came up, he realized he was 40 feet in a pine tree and went, oh, my God.
Wow.
So this cat was looking down, trying to get down at this point and just freaked out.
That's a moment.
That was the coolest thing I ever saw.
That's a moment.
And that was back when cameras only had 2 megapixels.
Yeah.
So I took a picture, and all you could see was the tree. That was it, just a tree. So... But that was one of the coolest sights I've ever seen. So that's the roost. So you want to gobble, you want to find out where they're at. Once you get that gobble set up, and then just do slight clucks, and every once in a while sit quiet, and every once in a while give him a little chirp, let him know he's still there, let him know you're the hen, and you're still down here waiting. You're already off the roost. And hopefully the key is that they see your hen when they go down. Now, once they go down, if they don't fly immediately to your decoy, then there's a good chance that you're not going to be able to pull him out of the woods. But be patient because you very well could. Chances are he sees another hen or something else. So I just had that same situation. That was the situation that we were in. I had a gobbler on the roost. I was hoping he would see our hen. I should have had more hen decoys, but I only had one. I didn't want to go too much.
Well, that's amazing, your answer, because it ties into our next question, which the Russell K. from Plant City. Unrelated person, but related question. When should I use a hen or a gobbler decoy?
In my opinion, you should use them both at the same time. And here's why. I only had a hen decoy that day. It was kind of my fault. I had all my decoys at another location. I just didn't have time to go get them. I sat on, I just waited too long, and I just went and bought another hen decoy. The key, my ideal situation is to have 2 hen decoys and a gobbler decoy. And the reason is another gobbler will see that gobbler, and this is that gobbler's territory. So he's going to go down and confront the gobbler that's there.
Sure.
Because now this guy's moving in on his hens the way he sees it. So it's the confrontation. You don't really care about that. So anytime you're out there turkey hunting, if you have a gobbler decoy, I would set that up, about 10 yards or 15 yards away from your hens to make it look like that gobbler is, displaying himself to this other gobbler, to the real gobbler's harem. So have one every time you go.
So is there a reason, now if I'm reading Russell's question correctly, when should I use a hen or gobbler decoy? When should I use a decoy at all? Or is there a time I wouldn't use a decoy?
Is if you don't have it and you have the skill like no other.
Okay.
You always want to use a decoy.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can help it, you always want to use a decoy.
Okay.
Now, there's guys that do hunt without decoys, and that's just basically they locate. They become very proficient in spot and stalk, and they can stalk a turkey. It is very difficult. Some people do it. Not me. I don't have these spot and stalk methods like I used to. I have done it back years ago.
It's an advanced maneuver.
It is advanced and younger. It's a young man's game, man.
Really?
You got to crawl, dog. I mean, you got to be in there like a wiggle. You know what I'm saying? You got to wiggle. You got to belly crawl.
Sydney K. At Lake Lounger 42 says, if you see several turtles either sunning themselves up on the logs or on the shore, is this an indication there are fish in that lake?
It's an indication there's a lot of turtles, that's for sure. Those turtles do eat fish, so it is a good indication that there's fish in the lake. What kind of fish, it's really hard to say.
Okay.
But, I mean, if you see a lot of turtles, and obviously you got a thriving population of turtles, and the lake's been there for a while.
Okay.
So the key to turtle sunning is they have to dry their skin. Turtles have to dry out. So a lot of people who have captured water turtles think that they're just water turtles. Well, what happens is their skin literally rots off of them, and they die in a fish tank. And they go, why did my turtle die? Well, they got to dry out. They need those logs.
Yeah.
They need that sunlight to dry their skin, So they're not 100% waterproof. You can get a turtle waterlogged.
Okay.
So, but, yeah, that usually means there's fish. I mean, I would look for other signs versus turtles. Turtles is a great start. If you're not seeing anything and you're seeing turtles, man, why not?
Okay.
Definitely start there,
Good answer.
and then you can phase from there.
Good answer. Sydney again says, if there are ducks on a lake, is this an indication there are fish in that lake?
Depends on the type of duck.
Does it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's mergansers eat fish. Mallards do not. They just eat vegetation. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Teal eat vegetation. There's very few fish eaters. Mergansers are one of them.
Okay.
There's a couple different fish eaters. Grebes are fish eaters. If you see grebes, if you see cormorants, but not. You got to know your ducks. There again,
it's a whole ecosystem.
It's a whole ecosystem. If you're seeing wading birds, and the wading birds are the ones that wade into the water and eat little bitty fish.
Okay.
Your herons,
sign,
your blue
right?
herons, your white herons, your egrets, stuff like that, and they're on the edge of the water. That's a good sign.
Okay.
They're eating bait fish. There's got to be other fish.
Okay.
So ducks are, man, you got to know your ducks. You see mergansers, you're good.
Okay.
So,
what about frogs?
Frogs are a good sign. I'll tell you this, and a lot of people don't know this. Frogs are a great sign of the ecosystem, and you see a lot less lakes now with frogs on it. I mean, it's frog gigging. I mean, it's a dying art because our lakes are so polluted. If you do not see frog, my rule of thumb is if I don't see a frog in the lake, I'm not eating the fish.
Oh, interesting.
Period. If it's healthy enough to sustain a frog, that's the fish I'm going to eat.
Okay.
Because, remember, frogs breathe through their skin. They're amphibians, for those of you that don't know. So they're very, very fragile. They're very susceptible to poisons, pesticides, road tar, all this stuff. Yeah. If that starts getting into the water, it starts killing off the frogs first. So if you're fishing in a pond that's got a lot of frogs, eat the fish.
Wow.
You're in good shape.
Good advice.
That's my opinion, and that's just and Rodney, you heard it here first. So, frogs are very, very important. There's a few ponds that I go to that has got a lot of frogs, and I actually frog gig in it and eat frogs. Matter of fact, it's about that time for frog gigging.
Good advice.
Yeah. So, yes, frogs. Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes? I guess she's really trying to cover the bases.
Yes. Yes. Remember, mosquitoes is part of that ecosystem. It's the beginning of the food chain. Mosquito, brim, bass, and it's that whole chain. There's mosquitoes, frogs are there. I mean, it's that whole thing.
Okay.
Whole thing. Absolutely. If you tell me plankton, Sydney, you're out of here.
You've got mail.
You got it, Sydney.
Whoa, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Send me an email with all the details.
Another freaking email. Another freaking email song.
You know what I love? I love the fact that no matter what the question, you'll go right in and answer it. That's what you're here for, right?
That's what I'm here for, my man. You know what? We've been stumped on a question, and it was something about a gar, wasn't it? It was a gar question.
Yeah.
What was gars, depth of gars, or how deep will a gar go, or
I remember that.
yeah, and I tried so hard to find the depth of it was the depth of how deep will a gar go.
You're right, though.
And it's just I never found. I mean, just we need to research that, and I mean I researched it, but there's really no one's ever really measured how deep they've ever seen.
I can't even believe you actually remember that question.
I know it's the only one I've not been able to answer. Mike,
it's stuck out for you.
Stuck out there. I feel bad. I couldn't answer for the guy. All righty, man.
You know what I was thinking the other day? We got a few more minutes here, and
we do.
as we move on, we get so busy in life,
Right.
and we're always looking for the ways to chill out or find your quiet time or meditation or be by yourself, whatever.
Yeah.
And I realized we were talking about this the other day.
I remember.
We don't read enough poetry.
Our artsy side isn't exposed enough.
Well, for me, this is a creative outlet.
Right, yeah, and we talked about that in the beginning.
And without whatever that is to you, whatever your creative outlet, if you don't have that, a part of you dies, or
Right.
I mean, it gets stifled, and I
It
think
does.
it's
I
incredibly
agree.
unhealthy.
I agree.
So, but I'm like, there's certain things we just don't do enough of, and one of those is poetry.
Ooh, and I'm
Because
a
did you
poet.
write when you were a kid? I used to stay home from school and write poems.
You
on
know, it's funny because
Typewriter.
I think I got the rhyme every time kind of deal going here.
Yeah.
I mean, I could poet with the best of them.
So I thought tonight,
Huh, you're gonna be
with
impressed.
your blessing and permission, we'd
Let's do
share a few poems.
Why not, bro?
read.
I'm,
whatever?
I'm
Okay.
in like Flynn, dog.
So you brought yours?
I brought mine.
Okay, good.
I am written,
So
dude. You don't
let's-
even know.
I'm going to share one, and then you share one.
Okay.
But I've kind of picked one that I've done, staying in the theme with outdoorsy.
Okay, yeah, I
Themes,
kind of went
okay?
outdoorsy. Yeah, I'm with you.
Let me change this up here and give us a little bit so we can see.
Oh,
what's
you
going on.
yeah, this is it. I've been waiting for this moment, dude.
Yeah?
I've been sitting on my pony. Oh,
Okay. Well, I'm going to need some music.
music for me too, bro. A round of music for
Round of
both
music.
of us.
That's
Oh,
nice.
Oh, yeah. That's
Actually
solid.
very
That's
nice.
a good one.
Okay. There's a place that I can go that's peaceful and serene, where there's no appointments or phones, a place to ponder my dreams. A modest little wooden house is waiting there for me, and as I enter its doors, away go all my cares. My heart is filled with memories that can never be replaced. Although they make me sad at times, I know life's too precious to waste.
Mike, that was a good one right there, brother. But I've kind of got one. You ready for mine?
Do you want music too?
Oh, yeah. Hook me up with some
Let me do
music,
something a
man.
little different here. I'll try this
Okay,
one.
okay. I walked for miles down the winding path and through the towering trees. I could tell that fall was coming because it was starting to smell like cheese.
Like cheese?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
thing,
I'm sorry.
the fall cheese
My bad.
thing. Yeah. As I walked along the river, I saw animal tracks in the dirt. As I bent down to explore closer, a freaking bee went down my shirt. It was,
Ooh.
it
I like, you do.
was outdoors.
You got the rhyming thing down. You're
I
right
told
about
you,
that.
rhyme every time, dog. But I pressed on with anticipation, although the bee's stings were taking their toll. I knew the warmth of the campfire awaits me, and my bladder was getting full. What? That's a pretty good one right there. What about? Telling you, I got this, Mike.
I'm not sure.
What?
I don't know if you were done, but I think you were done.
We'll call that one done. How's that? It gets better, but we'll leave that one alone. I got a couple more. How are you doing over there?
I'm a little speechless.
I'm on this dog like
All
a
right.
hobo on a ham sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you're saying. Well, at least.
Oh, yeah.
All right. To fight a fish across the miles and reel him into view, or simply float across the stretch of endless tranquil blue. You like that? To sit upon the pier at night and gaze at the star-filled sky that's always bigger and clearer there. It doesn't matter why. A man must have a place to go where his mind and soul are free. If he is lucky enough to find that door, then God will turn the key. The river is my secret spot. Its banks run clear and strong, and each time that I return to them, I know that I belong.
Oh, man, that's a good one, Mike. Mike, that was a good one. Our camera was on me the whole time. Is that okay?
We're both on there.
Okay. Oh, we're both on there?
We're both on there.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
I've secured my little spot.
Okay.
In the corner.
I just saw the little light, man.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure. Okay.
I appreciate your concern, though, because
I didn't want people to think that beautiful poem was mine, because I got a beautiful one. Are you ready for this one? You got some extra music over there? Did you have enough to go around?
We got plenty. Yeah, we'll just replay it.
Right on. Mountains, water, trees, fish.
I like it. Okay.
Camping.
Yeah.
Fire.
You're
Eagles.
just saying words.
Pretty words. Sunsets.
Yeah.
Rain. Mosquitoes. Shelter.
Is it? Is this an actual poem, or are you just saying words?
This was the pretty words. You want me? I tell you what.
Did you call that pretty words?
Well, we'll call this one pretty words. Outdoor words. How's that?
I don't know that rhyming is necessary, but that was just words.
You close your eyes and you picture, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what
but
you're saying.
But I saved the best for last. I hope you got another one, because I might have another one.
Redeem yourself, Rodney. Mr. Poetry Man.
Okay. Oh, you don't have another. You're out. I stumped you with the pretty words. There was an outdoorsman from Belgrade.
No. What? We're not doing limericks.
I don't think you have faith in me, Mike.
I've heard this before.
How's it go?
I don't know the details, but it ends up, he said, I'll admit it smells quite a bit, but look at the money I'll save. We're not going there.
Way off, Mike. Way off. You got to trust me on this one. Okay? Music. Give me the music, Mike.
You're killing me,
Cue the
Holmes.
music, Mike.
You're killing me, Holmes.
There was an outdoorsman from Belgrave. He vowed the oceans to save.
Oh, okay.
So he packed up his tent and went sailing he went to conquer the dangerous waves. Mm-hmm. This notorious man from Belgrave, he sailed on for infinite days. He lived off the sturgeons while searching for virgins.
What? Rodney, we're not going there.
You're losing your faith again, Mike. Mike, just hang with me here. It's almost over, man. To sacrifice to the gods of Vusley. See there?
Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
I might have prematurely jumped in.
Maybe. Twice. And about this outdoorsman from Belgrave, he vowed never again to shave. He said, I'll admit it might smell quite a bit, but look at the money I'll save. Mike, I'm out of poems.
I need some applause or something here. Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry. That's, I maybe we'll do some better ones. I thought those were pretty good.
You pulled it off at the end.
What do you think about that
Nice
one?
job. Quite moving there.
Thank you for recommending the poem.
That Belgrave was not an autobiography type of thing, was it?
No.
Okay.
No autobiography there. Woo. Mike, what do we got coming up?
Well, here's what we do have coming up, or what we want coming up.
Okay.
At the beginning of every show every week, we're playing this King for a Day.
Okay.
And I really want to challenge people to think about it, reach out if you're interested in participating in King for a Day, because we're going to be putting on the calendar here very soon our next shoot for that.
Shoot us an email. Go to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. You can go to info button. You can go to Mike email. You can go to Rodney email. Shoot either one of us an email. We'll get it, and we'll set you up. Tell us what you want to do. If it's fishing, hunting, if it's something, we'll try to be successful at whatever we do.
Yep.
And we'll set you up. If you haven't seen the King for a Day series, I think you'll like it.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's King for a Day. Go to Rodney Rogers Outdoors YouTube and hit subscribe and check out the King for a Day.
Yep, please.
I just want to give a shout out. I met a super good guy today named Raphael at Bass Pro Shops. He's got an awesome boat. Hopefully him and I get a chance to do some fishing. Dude is just an awesome guy, you know. So we may get a chance to fish with this guy. He's a super nice guy. Raphael, if you're watching the show tonight,
I hope he's watching.
I love your boat, dude. I think he's a hunter, too, because he camouflages his boat. So he might get to do some duck hunting with him this year.
Very cool.
But, yeah, check out the King for a Day series. It's an awesome series. We want to see somebody out there. And don't forget our review series, our outdoor reviews. If you got something that needs reviewed, a kayak, a boat, a gun, it doesn't matter what it is, we'll review it with you. So check out our review series. Man, we'd love to get some more reviews. You get to be in the show as well.
Yep.
So
we want you part of this journey here all the time.
We'd love to have you part of the journey. I can do it by myself because I do all the time. But it's always great. Like I had Kevin this weekend. You know, he learned so much fishing this weekend. I think he's as a matter of fact, his words were, "You got me hooked on this frog. Your grub business is going to go down the drain," because he's bought a lot of grubs. I loaded him up with grubs that day as well. So, you know, he learned a little something, and that's why we did this. That is why we want to do this. I'm actually taking some people out Friday. I took Friday off of work. We're taking some people off. They bought an offshore boat, so they kind of, you know, grabbed me to help them out, show them how to work their outriggers and downriggers, and I'm going to take all my poles and my trolling gear, and we're going to teach them how to troll. I mean, it's that simple. So if you're not working Friday,
$100,000. That's all we need.
$100,000 is all we need. We'll take it $100 at a time.
Right, a good show, man.
A good show. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging out, and hopefully this is our 3-year and 1-day show.
Crazy, dude.
I know. We're going to do a live get-together here soon. And as my mama said 18 million times, and I pray to the Lord himself I get to say it half as much, you kids get outside and stay.